What's the strangest aviation mechanic superstition that actually worked? I learned about it from Danny, a 20-year Air Force veteran who worked on F-16s at Shaw Air Force Base. Danny had this weird habit of tapping every bolt exactly 3 times with his wrench before calling an aircraft ready for flight. Not 2 times, not 4 times, always 3. Every single bolt he touched got the triple tap treatment. New mechanics would watch him work and roll their eyes. "Come on, Danny," they'd say. "That's just superstitious nonsense. You've already torqued everything to spec. The triple tap is pointless." Danny never argued, just smiled and kept tapping. 3 times on the engine mounts, 3 times on the landing gear assemblies, 3 times on every critical connection point. Other crews started making fun of him, called it Danny's magical bolt blessing ceremony. Some guys would mimic his tapping motion during breaks, pretending to cast spells on their tools. But here's the thing nobody could argue with. Danny's aircraft never had mechanical failures. Ever. In 5 years of working together, not one of his birds came back with loose bolts or structural issues. Meanwhile, other mechanics dealt with regular problems. Panels coming loose during flight, engine vibrations from improperly secured components. Nothing catastrophic, but enough to ground aircraft and require emergency landings. The squadron started noticing the pattern. Lieutenant Colonel Hayes pulled maintenance records for the entire unit. Danny's completion rate was 99.7%. Everyone else averaged around 94%. That might not sound like much, but in aviation maintenance, those few percentage points represent millions of dollars in prevented repairs and dozens of avoided emergency situations. Young airmen started copying Danny's technique. Figured if it worked for him, maybe there was something to it. The triple tap spread through our maintenance bay like a virus. 6 months later, our squadron had the lowest mechanical failure rate in the entire Air Force. Command took notice, started asking questions about our procedures. That's when Master Sergeant Kelly figured out what was really happening. The triple tap wasn't magic. It was quality control disguised as superstition. Think about it. Every time Danny tapped a bolt, he was physically testing its tightness. If something was loose, he'd feel it move under the wrench. The tapping wasn't a ritual, it was a final inspection method. But Danny had never explained it that way. He just said it was his system and left everyone to draw their own conclusions. Let them think it was superstition because they were more likely to copy a weird habit than follow another boring checklist item. The triple tap became official procedure. They added it to the technical manuals as a recommended final inspection step. Called it the tactile verification method instead of Danny's magical tapping. Danny retired 2 years later with a commendation for improving squadron safety standards. At his farewell ceremony, the base commander handed him a custom wrench engraved with the number 3. After the ceremony, I asked Danny why he never told anyone the real reason behind his tapping method. He just grinned and said the truth would have ruined the magic. People trust their instincts more than their training sometimes. If they thought it was superstition, they'd do it religiously. If they thought it was just another procedure, they'd skip it when they got busy. Last month I visited Shaw for a reunion. New mechanics still use the triple tap method. They have no idea it started with one guy who figured out how to make quality control look like a lucky charm. The maintenance bay has a plaque now that reads, "In memory of Senior Master Sergeant Danny Mitchell, who taught us that the best procedures are the ones people actually follow."